Hello students, welcome to the lecture of Internet and Web Technologies. My name is Vishakha Chaurasia. I am Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in SIRT Bhopal. So in today's lecture, we are going to cover the topic of Unit 4, that is XML. So in this unit, we will cover Introduction to XML, its uses, key components and basic structure of XML code in a web document and its application. So before understanding what is XML in detail, first we will see its basic. So XML stands for Extensible Markup Language, and we have already studied in HTML that markup languages are those computer languages that uses the tags to define the elements of a web document, and it is considered to be extensible because user can define their own tag according to the need of the application. It is designed to store and transport data. It was released in late 90s and created to provide an easy to use and self-descripting data. World Wide Web Consortium recommended it on the February 10th in 1998 to become a standard. XML is actually not considered to be a replacement for HTML because HTML and XML, both the languages, are designed with different goals. XML is designed to be self-descriptive, as user is allowed to define their own tags according to the need of the application and describe the meaning of the tag along with it. And it is designed to carry data and not to display the data. HTML was basically designed to structure the data and display it according to the need of the application, but XML is designed also to carry data from one place to another place over the internet. XML tags are not predefined. User can define their own tags. XML is a software and hardware tool for storing and transporting data. So what are the basic difference between XML and HTML? HTML tags have fixed meaning and browser understands it. The tags that HTML use are predefined and browser already understand it, and user do not have to provide its external meaning and description of any tag. But in XML, as the user define the tags according to the need of the application, so it becomes very mandatory that XML tags contain the meaning of the tag, so that when the data gets transported from one platform to another platform, all the user will understand the meaning of the tags uniformly. Design goals of both the languages are different, as HTML is responsible for displaying data only, but XML is used to describe the data and documents also. So what is the basic motivation behind XML? As we were already structuring the documents with HTML, but the motivation behind learning XML is that data interchange is critical in today's internetworked world, as the data is getting transferred over the internet. So in order to reduce the paper flow of information between organizations, this becomes very helpful to the users and the developers. So each application area has its own set of standards and representing information, and the tags and the information is appended with the tags also. XML has become the basis for all new generations data interchange format. Each XML based standard defines what are valid elements, using XML type specification languages to specify the syntax. As the XML contains the user-defined tags and elements, so it becomes necessary to provide a particular standard so that every user and developer understand it. So for these specifications and to validate the document, two things are provided, that is document type descriptors and XML schema, that we will see in another lecture. XML allows new tags to be defined as required according to the need of the application. The user can do It, however, this may be constrained by DTDs, but the constraint is implemented by document type descriptors in order to make the document free flow and valid and to make the elements valid. A wide variety of tools is available for parsing, browsing, and querying XML documents or data. These are the basic features of XML. Although the XML is considered to be very powerful in its own implementation, but these are the three most important characteristics that are observed. XML is extensible as the user can define their own user can define its own tags, so it is very feasible to develop any application. XML carries the data and does not present it. XML carries data throughout and not only responsible for displaying and structure the data throughout the document. XML is a public standard because it is recommended by World Wide Consortium, and some of the schemas definition and DTDs are provided in order to validate the document, so it is very easy to implement a kind of application that is understood by everyone. So, and another feature is that it adapts the platform changes, because most of the data that XML carries over the internet is in the form of plain text. So, carrying a plain text and transforming it into a different platform becomes very easy. So, it adopts the platform changes very easily. So, what are the uses of XML? XML can work behind the scene to simplify the creation of HTML documents for very large websites. XML can be used to exchange the information between organizations and systems. As XML carry plain text information, so information can be easily exchanged between two different organizations and different systems, and they can adopt and change it according to their own use. XML can be used for offloading and reloading of databases. XML can be used to store and arrange the data, which can customize your data handling needs. XML can easily be merged with style sheets in order to produce the desired output of the documents. Virtually any type of data can be expressed as an XML document. So, what is XML declaration? The XML document can optionally have an XML declaration. Actually, this is not very important to provide its declaration, but if you provide the declaration, it should be in very correct manner. That XML version will be specified first under the tags. That is 1.0. Now we will now the encoding element will come, that is UTF-8 is by default, but UTF-16 and other standards are also there, but by default it takes UTF-8. Standalone is no. We will declare we will understand what is the meaning of a standalone when we will come in the coding parts. But the version of the XML is the version, and coding specifies the character and coding of the document. So what are tags and elements? An XML file is structured by several XML elements, also called XML nodes or XML tags. Those angular brackets are known as tags, and whatever is written inside those angular brackets are called element. So what are XML attributes? Like different element have different kind of attributes. Attribute means properties. XML elements can have attributes. By the use of attribute, you can add the information about the element. XML attributes enhance the properties of the elements. Like we have a book whose property is to publish. Okay, so its attribute will become publisher, and attributes always come in the name value pairs inside the starting tag of an element. An element may have several attributes, but each attribute name can only occur once. So account is an element. Account type is a kind of attribute. Monthly fee is a kind of attribute. And you should always keep in mind that every starting tag has a corresponding end tag. So this is a code that actually explains the difference between element and attributes. So text inside the angular bracket is a start tag, and this text inside with a backslash is end tag. Whatever is written inside these two tags is element, and whatever is explained inside the elements is the content of the elements or sub elements. So this is a basic example of XML documents, like as we have discussed about the XML declaration. So XML declaration is given here in that proper manner which we have already discussed. XML version, that is 1.0, then the encoding is specified. Now note is a user defined tag that has a corresponding end tag also. To from is another tag, heading is another tag, and body is another tag. So we will get a basic information from this XML document that this is a message from Radha. This is a message from Rani to Radha. So this is the property of a XML tag, that it becomes self-explanatory as the user define the tags according to the need of the application. As there is the need of application is to send message from Rani to Radha, that this is a reminder. So reminder is already understood. What are namespaces? As the data is getting transferred between the organizations in XML, so namespaces comes into picture, and it is quite very important. Data has to be exchanged between organizations. Same tag name may have different meaning in different organization, causing confusion on exchange documents. So specifying a unique string as an element name avoids confusion, as the same name can be used by two different organizations. So it becomes very necessary to use a short name that can specify or differentiate a particular organization from another organization over the internet. So a better solution is to use a unique name with the appended element name. So avoid using long unique names all over document by using XML namespaces, because the long names long name actually provides confusion. So bank is a tag that has XML namespace FB. FB is a namespace provided for this particular URL. So you can append this namespace anywhere with the element name, so that it will be understood to the user that this branch name is for this particular namespace URL. What are the advantages of XML? So XML uses human, not computer language. XML is readable and understandable even by novices and no more difficult to code than HTML. XML is completely compatible with Java and is 100% portable, as we have already discussed that the XML carries any application that can process XML can use your information, and regardless of the platform. XML is extendable as the user is creating their own tag and uses a natural language of your domain that have the attributes you need and make sense to you and your users. XML allows validation of the documents using DTDs and schemas. This validation ensures that XML document is free and any syntax error. XML simplifies data sharing between various systems because of its platform independent nature. XML data does not require any conversion when transferred between different systems. So, but with advantages, there are some disadvantages of XML also. XML syntax is quite verbose. It is quite confusing and redundant compared to other text-based data transmission formats. The redundancy in syntax of XML causes higher storage and transportation cost when the volume of the data is quite large, as the data is getting transferred into the plain text format. XML document is less readable compared to other text-based data transmission formats. XML does not support array. XML data sizes are usually very large due to its verbose nature, and it is totally dependent on who is writing it. Thank you.